I will show you how I can change the behavior of this body forever in just one treatment. Enjoy.
So there's been a click, like 10 seconds. Hey, you, look.
Yes.
Hi everyone, it's Mario Maroni here. Today we are with Stefano. Stefano came to me for a pain here, kind of a sciatica left side. He also suffered, more recently, but he suffered a lot of pain on this side of the neck and the shoulder. He also said that the pain basically starts from the toes.
Yeah.
It went up
From here, on the back, shoulder, and on the back here.
Okay, so a lot of pain on the shoulder, but the main pain at the moment is here. I saw him walking, he's basically limping because he cannot walk properly. He had a massive injury. The oldest injury he had more than 30 years ago is a car accident, motorbike accident, when he basically injured the ankle, had many ligament damage there, an operation, and then following, many years after, he also had an operation for the meniscus on the same leg. So this leg, you will see, I will attach some photo, some picture of the ankle is completely different. The foot is completely this way, the left one. Now, please go backward. As always, I started on the neck, on the head. The head does a big twist. I already know the top, the bottom. There was nothing very interesting. I touched the neck on the top area of the left side. If I try to move it, it's very, very stiff. It's the stiffest area of the neck. Is it a problem on the neck? No, it's not. It's not a blockage. It didn't have any injury on this side because sometimes if you have a big restriction here, it could be the brachial plexus. So there is the nerve that goes to the arm. You check the arm and you can tell in a few seconds if there is an injury or not. But that injury is so big, which obviously overtake everything. The top left side of the neck replicate the movement of the bottom left side of the lumbar spine, where there is the real injury. When you have an operation, when you have a fracture, any injury that happen here, S1, L4, this is the area. The knee is L3, which it will be irritated because you also had an operation on the knee. So what do? I already checked all the right side, which bend quite well. It bends quite well. All this part bends quite well. I already checked all the spine. I don't care about the right side, but I need to care a lot about the left. So I grab the spine, I try to move it left to right. It is very painful, okay? Another test that I do all the time is this one. Just lift the right, and if I try to lift the left, it's completely stuck. What is the problem? It's clearly here. There is a massive restriction on the knee as well. So if I try to extend the knee, I cannot at all. The knee is lifted. It shouldn't be. It should touch the bed. The other one is lifted as well, but if I try to move it, it bends a little bit. It is more flexible, let's say. It's not as stiff as the other one. The ankle. So I grab the ankle. I want to close up a little bit on the ankle because I think it's interesting. So this foot, it may not be very visible, but it's more in inversion. This one is more relaxed, and if I try to go that way, there is a very, very mild mobility that tells me, okay, there is nothing here. But if I try to do the same with this one is completely stuck. It doesn't move at all. The malleolus, the same. It doesn't come, it's painful. It doesn't come forward. It goes a little bit backward, but it's very painful. I don't want to stress too much. And the other one moves very well, okay? So there will be restriction, all the plane. This one is stiff as well, but this one is worse. The dorsiflexion, this one is okay, more or less. This one is more, if it doesn't go at all. And he also had an injury here. So the patella moves medially. It doesn't move laterally at all. It doesn't extend. The flexion, okay, for the moment it's not important. I already know I need to treat the area anyway. I will understand if there is an improvement, if the pelvis will release. You see this angle in between the leg and the foot, which we don't have here. Here is more straight, yeah? This is very clear. So here is straight, and here there is basically an angle. Straight, and then it comes this way. So there is an angle. As you already know, my treatment is very light. I just need to grab the area and wait till there is a release. There will be a release. There will be more mobility here, obviously, on the area. But also, there will be more mobility on the pelvis, where is needed the most, okay? That's why he has sciatica. So the pain is very unbearable. I mean, I know because I saw him walking. And he didn't want to come at all because he wasn't able to walk properly. So he struggled a lot. Okay, so I need to be above L3 because there is also the problem on the knee. Let's see what's going on. Do you see the foot? There should be some kind of release at some point. Which other? So he has also some prostate trouble. Any other injury? Any other
No.
operation?
No, just appendix,
Ah, okay. He had
hernia.
an appendix and hernia on the opposite side. So the treatment again is very light. There are no contraindications, but this treatment goes to the root cause of the problem. In this way, I can be sure that the condition is treated, is fixed. So I expect once treated, that problem, it won't be there anymore. And then we will check other things. There will be other injury, definitely, because he is 56.
I'm 55.
55.
And the injury it was 17 years.
So the injury for the motorbike, he was 17, so it's quite old. But after that, I'm sure there's been other injury. There may be an ankle sprain, there may be some knock in the head, or you remove just one tooth and you anyway lose the posture, okay? And to recover it, you need to know what the body wants to be treated. In this case, definitely the ankle. And then you start from there and you retest everything. So the important is to make a change. So I expect that angle in between the foot and the leg to disappear, basically. So the ankle needs to be straight. It is swollen. Consider these things happened more than 30 years ago. The ankle is still way bigger than the other one. And then what happens? This leg, it doesn't work anymore as before, and you start loading the other side a lot. In fact, the other ankle, it doesn't look brilliant, to be honest, but it's way better in terms of mobility than this one. Eccolo qua, you saw it, yeah? You felt it? So there's been a click, like 10 seconds. Hey, you look.
Yes.
Perfect. It wasn't enough. Perfect. Now, let's check there may be something else. Take a deep breath. Now you felt it. So we gain a lot of mobility in the hip. What happened? When you had an injury there, the leg usually look a little bit more straight than the other one, and the hip doesn't externally rotate. Okay? And this is another movement you can imagine when you walk. You always walk with the pelvis misaligned. Take a deep breath. Okay, there's been quite a release now. Let's check again. Let's hope well, it's just on the camera. More, you should feel it now. Okay, so what is interesting is that, yeah, there was multiple injury, okay, so probably there was an injury here on the calf, basically on the top of the calf, plus the injury there, but also he had the operation. Now I expect something different. Okay, now this part is a lot lighter than this one. If it starts looking a little bit heavier on the right. Let's open the knee. It's hard to see because there is all this black clothes. But the knee will be affected. If the pelvis is twisted, it won't be 100%. Anyway, the mobility here. Okay. There's been. What do you think? It was painful before.
Yeah, before. Yeah.
It was very painful. Okay. I just want to retest again just to be completely sure, but now looks like the pelvis is more heavy on the right. What I need to expect also is the neck on this side needs to release on the left. Take a deep breath. That's good. It's very good. That's good. That's a big release. The camera, it wasn't a close-up, but probably you saw it. Okay, lo senti adesso? Now it moves that way better, and this side should be harder, you feel? So completely reversed. He had 2 operations there on the pelvis, so it should be the pelvis. Let's see if it's bad. Usually in a session, today I will be happy with the ankle, because you need to understand the ankle was like that for 30 plus years. So again, I mean, it's a lot lighter, yeah? It's not very bad, but now it's nice because the leg now looks completely relaxed. Yeah. You feel? This one.
But I feel the movement.
You feel more? Yeah. It moved outward. Now this leg is a lot more soft than before, and this one starts becoming more stuck. So you feel how hard it is? And this one is completely different. That's a clear improvement. On the left only. Let's try to do it on the right. So, operation means T12, L1, L2. You find them and you suffer a little bit. Okay? Okay, L1, oh, perfect. What do I feel? The part of the spine, it does something like this. There are 2 clear injury, but also the hernia and the appendix, they are different because the appendix just irritate T12, L1, L2, more or less. The appendix has been taken out, and that's lumbar spine. So the lumbar spine will have a wider irritation. If it was only the hernia obviously is less traumatic than an appendix, because in the appendicitis you remove the appendix, so you remove an organ basically.
It's a non-normal appendix.
It wasn't?
It's very worse.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Peritonite? Ah, okay, so he had a peritonitis, I think it's called in English, peritonitis. The peritoneum is like a sheet that connect the bowel with the back of the body. Okay.
It's different operation. Yeah, they cut like this.
Okay. Ah, so it's a big scar.
And clean.
Ah, okay. So it's not a normal appendix.
No.
Ah, okay. So he has
Was, big
peritonitis.
operation.
Huh?
It was big operation.
Big operation. So he had a peritonitis. So definitely, that's quite a big one, yeah.
I don't know what
But-
normal one.
You want the big one, okay. So it wasn't only an appendix. That's why the lumbar spine, it's very stuck. If the lumbar spine doesn't work properly, the neck won't work properly, okay? Because they are very, very connected. When you have an injury on the lumbar spine, you have pain on the neck, and vice versa. If you have a whiplash and it takes only the neck, very rare, usually it takes all the spine, but if it takes the neck, look at the leg. Because this leg is not the best as well now.
Yeah.
But this one needs to do the same exact thing. I was relieving, then I lost it. Okay. What I was saying. So the neck and lumbar spine are very connected. So when you have an injury on the lumbar spine, which can be an operation on the pelvis, you will have frequently pain on the neck. It's frequently, for example, women with the cesarean, they start having pain on the neck, on the shoulder, frequently bilateral, but also if you had a cesarean, you can have, for example, bilateral knee pain. Okay, you can have pain everywhere, but more frequently on the shoulder, on the neck.
I can feel something.
Hmm?
I can feel something release on the shoulder.
On the shoulder, okay.
Yeah.
So you feel something releasing on the shoulder, okay. It is not, you may not know, but the head, this part is very connected with cervical thoracic spine. So the top, let's say the top of the shoulder, and the scar, which is on the pelvis, is connected with this, with the skull, obviously, with the head. So if you have a release, it's like if you're having a release on the head, on the shoulder as well.
Yeah.
So you may feel the shoulder go back. It's already better. I mean, take a deep breath. Deep breath. It moves better. It moves anywhere better. But how do you feel the shoulder? It's still. So you felt a movement.
Yeah, but I feel something, but I can't explain very well.
You cannot explain. Okay.
I'm just waiting for some movement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to move it to the. Okay. Take a deep breath. Because here, to be honest, it seems you released. So, or there is something on top which now affect the bottom. It's better. If it is better, but in low, it still feel heavier, but it's an heavier that can come from other
Yeah,
part.
I can come from the shoulder.
Did you feel anything, any injury? Did you?
No, not in
It's just the
shoulder.
pain started like
Yeah.
from nowhere. The rib, they don't look bad, to be honest. But the head is more straight, yeah? It's more equal. I don't know if you feel, but you feel this is a problem. You feel?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I need to understand if it's here or because this part is connected with the medial part of the lumbar spine, which is the knee. Did you have an injury on the knee?
Not on the knee.
On the right? No.
No.
So or is the neck, or is the arm, or is the knee. It can be the neck because you had a motorbike accident
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it's a whip.
Yeah, she but here, but when I go down in this part,
Ah, you went on. Ah, okay. Ah, okay. Okay. So let's check very well the arm. Let me close and open again, just in case. Okay. It was 29.5. Perfect. Very good. Now let's double check the arm because you never know. Because when you land on a side, I told already, you can have reed problem. Doesn't look the case. Oh, okay. Okay. Deep breath. Okay, questo qualcosa. Yeah, there is. There is. Yeah, in fact it's blocked. Yeah, it's blocked. Okay. It makes sense. And then I expect the pelvis to be even lighter than what it was. So I feel a compression here in between the elbow and the neck. So it has to be probably, it landed on the shoulder. This side is, I mean, very happy. This side, you feel? It's a lot more light, okay? But if I go here now, you see, I cannot even enter inside the, yeah, just relax.
no, you can't.
Okay, so this side, I can lift a little bit.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Stuck.
It's impossible. Okay, so this side is impossible to move. Okay, so this will be the next treatment.